Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd. The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for Monday, April 28, 2025. In the headlines, 4 hospitalized, including 1 in critical condition after weekend shooting. Creators Alliance case delayed again. Labour Commissioner rules 5 former government workers were unfairly dismissed and compensation awarded. Grenadian man captured after escape to St. Vincent, facing charges of 4 counts of sex with a minor. Also in the news, regionally, autopsy being conducted on body of 11-year-old murder victim in Guyana. Internationally, Black Americans migrating to Africa in large numbers. Plus in the sports news, Anderson Peters and Afi Fletcher crowned Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year, while 14-year-old slams 35-ball century in Indian Premier League. We'll bring you the details right after these words.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
From GBN, I'm Kenroy Baptiste. 4 individuals are in police custody, assisting police with their investigation into Sunday's shooting incident in Victoria St. Mark. The 4 also hospitalized, including 1 in critical condition. Details in this report.
Up to news time, GBN was informed that Wellington, aka Wello, remained in critical condition at the General Hospital. Wellington sustained a bullet wound to his head following a shooting incident mere yards away from the Victoria Police Station in St. Mark on Sunday. According to police reports, 3 other individuals also sustained injuries following the annual mountain jam in the parish. The victims were taken to the General Hospital for medical attention, where they were admitted as patients. Police have denied claims that a police officer is responsible for the shooting of Wellington. 4 people have been detained for questioning in connection with the incident. According to an eyewitness, the incident stemmed from an altercation among a group of individuals, which involved bottle throwing. The eyewitness said approximately 7 to 9 shots were fired. Although he could not identify where the bullets in question came from, the eyewitness claimed that the victim fell face down with blood rushing from his forehead. High-ranking officials from the RGPF, including Commissioner Randy Connaught, responded to the chaotic scene outside the Victoria Police Station. Former Superintendent of Police Sylvan McIntyre, speaking on GBN's To The Point program this morning, alluded to a proper structure being put in place to deal with mass gatherings.
Albeit that when you have private events, it is the responsibility of the initiators to ensure that certain security measures are put in place. But I believe strongly that our state has to go further than just leaving it up to private security and people requesting special duty police officers. There has to be a system and a structure where every event that has to be undertaken, there should be a verification process by the security apparatus of the state. And they should look at the risk factors and make recommendations before approval is actually given. Because a lot of situations that end up with serious injuries and fatalities in some instances is because the risk factors were not adequately assessed before it actually happened. You have instances of fires, traffic accidents, and so on. And sometimes the police resource may be limited based on the number of activities that are happening at one time. And the inability sometimes to patrol effectively in some areas would lead to some things happen.
The RGPF has given assurances of a thorough investigation into the matter and urges members of the public to cooperate fully with law enforcement during this process. Anyone with information that may assist in this investigation is urged to contact the Criminal Investigations Department on 440-3921. That number is 440-3921. Christina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, the family of one of the victims, known as Wello, is seeking legal redress, retaining the service of attorney-at-law Anselm Clouden. During a press conference on Monday, Clouden said the matter is not yet before the court, hence he cannot speak to the next step the family should take since investigation is ongoing and a medical prognosis is still pending.
The gentleman was shot by the police in his back. It affected his brain. He's currently at the ICU of the General Hospital, and he's being treated by a team of doctors. I pray God that he survives, but we have to await the outcome. We cannot be precipitous and move without first determining his medical condition. So we await the disposition of the doctors, and hopefully his survival, failing which, of course, the consequences would be dire. You can very well imagine the grief and the shock that would visit a family, even where you have a celebrative occasion, where people are celebrating. It's that type of day, and you have such tragic incidents occurring. That's very, very unfortunate.
Reiterating that the job of police officers to protect and serve, Clouden believes law enforcement officers should be trained to be tolerant.
They must have a course in police training on tolerance. You know, you can't, it's almost inevitable sometimes, depending on the circumstances, that a man would lose his cool, he would lose his composure. This is why you have provocation would reduce murder to manslaughter, because one loses self-control. The police must be now trained to observe great tolerance and self-control, and not allow a situation to overwhelm them to the extent that they resort to that type of violent response. I cannot speak to the factual circumstances, the factual matrix of the case now, because that's evidential, and I have no doubt that an investigation is still being undertaken.
Well, in the wake of widespread misinformation after a shooting in St. Mark on Sunday, the Media Workers Association of Grenada is urging the public to turn to professional journalists for accurate and trustworthy news.
Journalists, in particular Grenada media, is still these people the frontline source of accurate news, because as you all know, we are in an age of social media, and we have seen a lot of misinformation and disinformation, which has cost several issues or caused outrage in several cases. So I would urge and continuously urge the Grenadian public to listen first or check in first with local media. Our journalists continue to do an excellent job in covering the different stories, bringing balanced reporting.
President of the Media Workers Association of Grenada, Jared Joseph, talking there. Other news, a Ghanaian woman charged earlier this month remains behind bars this evening as concerns mount over delays in the case. My colleague Nisha Paul has the details from the St. George's Magistrates Court.
Tensions ran high at the St. George's Magistrates Court today as criminal defense attorney Arlie Gill raised strong objections over what he described as an abuse of the court process in the case of Lillian Bonsu. Lillian Bonsu, who was charged with money laundering on April 10th and has been held in custody since her arrest at the Maurice Bishop International Airport on April 11th, has spent 20 days on remand. Yet her attorney says he has yet to receive a full disclosure of evidence in the case, including the charge sheet. Bonsu, who is reportedly linked to a region-wide investigation into the collapsed Creators Alliance investment scheme, is believed to be one of the group's top operatives. Attorney Gill told Chief Magistrate Francine Foster that despite writing to the Financial Intelligence Unit, or FIU, which has jurisdiction over the investigation of financial crimes, there was no response to his requests for disclosure, not even an acknowledgement. Adding to his frustration, Gill said he only received 3 witness statements this morning and from individuals not even officially listed as witnesses in the case. The defense, which came prepared to begin the trial in the matter today, argued that 20 days is more than enough time for the prosecution to provide the necessary evidence, especially since authorities already seized the defendant's phone and a laptop. Calling the situation pre-trial persecution, Gill requested that the case be struck out for want of prosecution and that Bonsu be released immediately from custody. The prosecution admitted they were not ready to proceed and confirmed that only 1 witness has been finalized so far. They also said they are still working to amend the witness list and submit additional statements, many of which remain with the FIU. Gill criticized the move to charge his client first and search for evidence afterward.
One would expect that before the charge was laid against her, that investigations would have been done and that the prosecution or the investigators would have gathered evidence. It does not seem as though they have gathered any evidence before charging this young lady. So that while the headlines scream that she has been charged, yet we're yet to see the basis of the charge. So on that basis, I ask that the matter be struck out against her, because there is no way she can meet the answer. She can answer any of the charge that was brought against her.
The Chief Magistrate denied the attorney's request for the matter to be struck off, however, gave the prosecution until May 6th to provide full disclosure relating to the money laundering charge against Gill's client. Gill has also indicated plans to apply for bail on behalf of the non-national.
There is sufficient case law which provides that with the relevant conditions, a foreign national can be admitted to bail. At the end of the day, the Constitution provides for the right to bail, so that the prosecution will not have to convince the court that she is not a good enough candidate for bail. If granted bail, there are conditions which can ensure that she remain within the state to answer the charge. But that is why I said, how can you now object to bail and you cannot give us a shredder disclosure? Doesn't seem fair to me, because we are ready for trial.
Bonsu remains in custody tonight as her legal team pushes for bail. The court is expected to make a decision on that application tomorrow, Tuesday, April 29th. Reporting for GBN News, I am Nisha Paul.
Now, 5 female workers have been awarded compensation after the Labour Commissioner ruled that their 2022 termination as unjust.
5 female workers from St. Andrews have finally been compensated after the Labour Commissioner ruled their termination was unjust. The women, former employees of the then Ministry of Works sub-office in Pearl St. Andrew, were sent home in August 2022 following the change of government to the National Democratic Congress administration. They were replaced with new workers the following week after serving the ministry for up to 10 years in some instances. Their case was taken to the Ministry of Labour in October 2022 by Humphrey and Associates. Lead consultant Chester Humphrey explained that it took nearly 2 years and the case passing through 3 Labour commissioners before a hearing was held.
It took quite a long while for this case to go through the grievance process. In fact, the case went through 3 different Labour commissioners before our case could be actually heard. There were a lot of delays, and this led to the Humphrey and Associates threatening to take the matter before the High Court, seeking a writ of mandamus to compel the Labour Commissioner to hear the case as it's set out in law. Because in law, there's an established grievance procedure. There were a lot of delays, and this led to the Humphrey and Associates threatening to take the matter before the High Court, seeking a writ of mandamus to compel the Labour Commissioner to hear the case.
Despite the setback, the Labour Commissioner ruled in the favour of the women. They were awarded compensation for their years of service covering up to December 2024.
And the case was returned in our favour. All 5 workers were found to be unfairly terminated, and the Labour Commissioner and us agreed that notwithstanding the fact that the termination took place in 2022, the workers will be treated as if they were still on the job in 2024, and that the compensation in terms of the years of service will go back from the first time the contract was issued up to the 31st of December 2024. The case involving Ms. Linda Paul Charles, Blondie Romaine, Deslyn Phillip, Indra Edwards, and Alberta William. In fact, as I speak to you now, the workers are collecting their checks, right?
2 of the workers speaking with our news team said they felt a great sense of relief after what they described as an act of victimization.
It took so long for the outcome to happen, in a quick time, but then it's a lot of patience and all that, The process is kind of lengthy, and I'm really happy. I'm very, very happy that it has ended and we've won.
Still, we had a whole set of back and forth in getting it. I must say I'm happy that the time has come where it has been paid to us, but I must say it was victimization at the highest level, because it was jobs that are still there but being given by other persons. We had our families to feed, children to go to school, loans, and it has affected us a lot. By the grace of God, we pulled through.
This ruling brings closure for the workers after a long battle. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Coming up in network news, sex offender captured and now faces 6 charges. Back in a moment.
Angie, don't you know that you should not fly kites near electrical poles and wires? You should only fly it in open areas. If the kite gets stuck, it can cause power outages throughout the village.
Then I'll just pull it down, Johnny. Simple.
No. You shouldn't do that. You can get shocked. You should call Grenlec at 237 and they will come and help.
Alright.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Hello?
Brenda, Girl, you ain't see Robert bringing a whole set of thing there.
Where? Bonje? What that?
Girl, a solar panel.
Solar panel?
Yes. And water tank too.
But like Robert win a lot. Oh gosh, Val. I sure you see me.
Hey, you're too fast.
You may be wondering the same thing like Brenda and Val. It's no secret. I took a BFF loan from Co-op Bank. With this affordable financing, I'm able to build in a climate-friendly and energy-efficient way. The more climate resilient I build, the lower my interest rate. I'm building for the future, and my BFF Co-op Bank is helping me do just that.
Visit our website for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome home.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Expand, don't call me small. I'm dreaming big, I'm gonna have it all. ATB's me, start, manage, expand. They came on all my competition, got the whole bag's attention. ACB, best financial solution. My business has a good reputation. Ready for success? Call us at 444-4919 or visit us at acbonline.com to learn more. ATB's me. Start, manage, expand your business today.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this? I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future. It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, you know. What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper water storage tank today.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Dreaming of home ownership? Republic Bank invites you to the Building Dreams Your Path to Home Ownership Mortgage Expo. Join us for an exciting day filled with resources for your home ownership journey, featuring home improvement stores, building supplies, real estate options, insurance solutions, and much more. Don't miss our insightful presentations on smart financial planning for homeowners, the legal blueprint of home ownership, a homeowner's guide to the right insurance, and the building and approval process, what you need to know. Mark your calendars for May 3rd, 2025 at the Radisson Crown Ballroom in Grand Dance from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade, this is the event for you. Join us at the Building Dreams Mortgage Expo on May 3rd and take the first step towards owning your new home.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
It's the level
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians. From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Nexa New Dimensions continues to dominate the local pan scene, capturing its fourth straight title at this year's Pan Expressions competition. The event, hosted by the Grenada Steel Band Association, brought energy and excitement to the Tanti Netball Court on Sunday. We get more in this report.
The winning performance by Nexa New Dimensions wowed both judges and audience. The powerful rendition of Whitney Houston's I Have Nothing earned them an impressive 90.67 points. The multi-generational band features members ranging in age from as young as 10 to over 50, all under the skilled direction of arranger Cordell Byam. Byam told our news desk it is always a pleasure to lead a talented team that remains dedicated to the task.
Listen, it always feels great. No one likes to lose, right? I think losing is a learning curve, but I will always want to stay on top and not go down, right? So that is why I always put my best foot forward every year. And the main thing, you're putting your best foot forward and also having confidence in what you're doing. I think that's better than anything else.
Elaborating on the choice of song, Byam said it wasn't just about musical difficulty.
The name of the song is I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. The reason I chose this song, I heard it in, I went to Dodgy Dock once, and after Lime, the DJ was playing that song. I guess he wanted to make everybody leave the party, so he started to play slow songs. And I heard that song, and I said, hey, that would make a nice Pan Expressions competition song, you know? So that's the main reason why I chose the song. And it's it's a very, very musical song, and very challenging. It was a lot of work. I think it's because of me, because everything if I produce something, I will always want the best from it, you know? And if I don't get the best from myself, I will have a lot of sleepless nights. Yeah. So yeah, basically it was a lot of work putting on that song, getting the best out of it, and then distribute it.
Now in its 24th year, the 2025 Pan Expressions brought together 8 of Grenada's top steel bands for a night of music, rhythm and community spirit. Taking second place was Blast River Road Pan Wizards, with IMA Grenada Rainbow City All-Stars in third. Also hitting the stage were Republic Bank Angel Harps, Kenroy Pan Angels, Pan Ossia, Florida West Side Symphony and Quap Bank Comancheros. Pan Expressions continues to be a staple on Grenada's cultural calendar, celebrating musical excellence and nurturing new generations of steel pan talent. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
A man charged with multiple counts of sexual offences involving a minor appeared before the St. George's Magistrates Court on Monday. Nisha Paul reports.
Serious charges were brought before the St. George's No. 1 Magistrates Court on Monday as 48-year-old Roger Johnson appeared before Chief Magistrate Francine Foster. The Mount Granby St. John resident has been charged with 6 counts of sexual intercourse with a minor between the ages of 13 and 16. The alleged incidents reportedly occurred on different dates in February of this year. This latest development comes just days after Johnson was extradited to Grenada from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where he was fined just about $500 Eastern Caribbean dollars for unlawfully entering the neighboring island by boat between February 1st and 28th. He is being represented in the matter by defense attorney Anselm Clouden, who has formally requested full disclosure from the police prosecution team to prepare his defense.
In my respective view, my respectful opinion, we have a good case. Those allegations cannot stand. It is my view, having regard to the surrounding circumstances and the evidence that is marshaled so far.
Johnson was remanded to the Richmond Hill prison pending Chief Magistrate Foster's ruling on his bail application, which has been reserved for May 16th. The prosecution initially objected to the granting of bail, citing the seriousness of the offenses.
Representation was made with respect to certain cases where bail is normally granted for offenses of this nature. It's a bailable offense, but there was arguments by the prosecution that he was a flight risk and as such may abscond. Well, there is no evidence to that effect. And the magistrate was given a number of cases that speak to his right to personal liberty, his presumption of innocence, and the fact that he's a Grenadian.
If convicted, Johnson faces up to 30 years imprisonment on each count of sexual intercourse with a minor. For GBN News, I am Nisha Paul.
The spirit of tradition was alive in Riverside St. Patrick over the weekend, and youth in the community have been called upon to help preserve the rich cultural heritage. More in this report.
The community of Riverside St. Patrick hosted its annual Saraka Festival over the weekend, with many calling on the younger generation to embrace and preserve the rich cultural tradition for the benefit of future generations. The Saraka Festival, celebrated on the first Friday after the Easter holiday, is a deeply rooted tradition that traces back to the community's African ancestral heritage. As technology continues to dominate daily life, there are growing concerns that without sustained effort, aspects of our cultural identity could be threatened.
I mean, the tradition is something that we want the younger people to continue, because as I learn from the elders, so we're looking forward for other persons to learn from us and continue to keep the tradition on.
I see the culture can build, but we want to get more of the young people having to be convinced to be part of it.
It's a good thing. Well, to me, it's a good thing because it's these days tradition is going out, you can say. So keeping up this community spirit up here, yeah, it's a good thing for us and for the young generation, because lots of children don't experience the things that we had when we was growing up.
Tradition is dying, right? And not much people or younger persons is taking part into this. So if we as the younger generation compared to Ms. Valsi, if we take it up and we can harness it, right, and create a avenue or something that tradition will not go down with, and we keep it up, 10, 15, 20 years from now, we can still have this.
Each year, Grenadians from across the island traveled to River Sally to participate in the festivities. In keeping with traditions, residents prepare a variety of foods at their homes, which is then shared in a public location, and anyone who wishes to partake is welcome to do so. The festival is said to have originated from the communal harvesting of crop, where after gathering the fruits of their labor, the community would come together to thank God for his blessing with a grand feast, feeding everyone within and outside the community.
Well, I've been doing Salaka for the past 16 years. I've learned from my grandmother, my great grandmother, who have been in that business for all those years. So I've learned from them, and now they passed away. I just continue to keep up the tradition. It's something that comes from after harvest. After you plant, you produce, and then you share to the people. So God will give you great honor so that you will be able to produce a lot more for the next year.
I was born and grew in this village here, and since I young growing up, I noticed River Sally people cooking saraka, and they always make this type of dumplings. So I've grown, and I like the saraka. So I started 14 years ago cooking my own food, and I normally make dumplings at that size and throw it in a pea soup. Since I young growing up, I noticed River Sally people cooking saraka, and they always make this type of dumplings. So I've grown, and I like the saraka. So I started 14 years ago cooking my own food, and I normally make dumplings at that size and throw it in a pea soup.
More people getting involved. We have much more people in the community taking part. Like food is being cooked at a lot of different locations that wasn't there before when I was growing up. So a lot more community spirit is out, lots of people taking part in it, and the thing getting nicer. Every year the thing getting nicer and bigger.
Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Next in Network News, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell visits Venezuela on a one-day trip. Stay with us.
This is the big one, because on Saturday, May 3rd from 6 p.m. get set for the biggest event for 2025, the massive Cars and Cash Mega Bingo at the National Stadium. You can win 3 mint-condition cars, a Suzuki Ignis, a Suzuki Swift Sports, and a Honda Vessel Plus. But wait, that's not all. You can also win $35,000 in cash.
Whoa, is this real?
Yes, it is. 3 cars plus $35,000 in cash. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. This will definitely be the event for 2025. Don't miss the massive Cars and Cash Mega Bingo. Saturday, May 3rd at the National Stadium. Brought to you by Karim. It's the way we play.
Heritage Theatre presents Breaking Out, the Grenada Love Story, featuring Robert White and Lisa Grappi, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs.
But I still love you, Richie.
You love me and you're hard in me. 4 big performances, Saturday 24th and Sunday 25th May at the Grenada Trade Center, Saturday 31st May and Sunday 1st June at Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime 7 p.m. sharp.
He's the love of my life, Auntie. You have to marry a man for other things besides love, child.
Get your tickets at Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grand Anse, Gittins Health and Wellness Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmata, St. David Pharmacy, St. Andrew Pharmacy, Art and Soul Boutique at Spiceland Mall, 3B's Shoe Store, and GoToFed.com. Breaking Out. Come out and enjoy Grenadian theater at its best.
This ad complements Classic Lighten Caribbean.
It happens to all of us. Low on cash and in need of money right away. Play Instacash Monday to Sunday and there are no draws.
So what you saying? No numbers to choose from?
Nope.
And no draw sessions to wait on?
Nope.
And we can play it anytime and any day?
Yep. Including Sundays. Instacash. Ask for it by name and choose from a wide variety of games as low as $2 and win instantly. It is fast, it is easy to play, and you win cash right away. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Take charge of your financial journey by switching to an Own Your Own loan at Arise Credit Union. Arise's Own Your Own loan is as unique as you are because we know one size fits all does not fit you. With Own Your Own loan, you get unmatched benefits including lower interest rates, flexible repayment options, discounted loan and legal fees, and savings from hardware suppliers. Tailor-made options that put you in control. Switch now and step into the life you were always meant to live with Arise's Own Your Own loan. Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future. Call us today at 440-1759 or visit our website at arisescu.com.
One venue, 3 cars, $35,000 in cash. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big one because on Saturday, May 3rd from 6 p.m., get set for the biggest event for 2025, the massive Cars and Cash Mega Bingo at the National Stadium. You can win 3 mint-condition cars, a Suzuki Ignis, a Suzuki Swift Sports, and a Honda Vezel Plus. But wait, that's not all. You can also win $35,000 in cash.
Whoa, is this real?
Yes, it is. 3 cars plus $35,000 in cash. Tickets are $60 for 1 or $100 for 2. This will definitely be the event for 2025. Don't miss the massive Cars and Cash Mega Bingo. Saturday, May 3rd at the National Stadium. Brought to you by Karim. It's the way we play.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is expected to return home on Tuesday following a one-day visit to the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, his first official trip to the South American nation since assuming office. More details in this report.
Monday's visit underscores the enduring relationship between Grenada and Venezuela and focused on enhancing cooperation across a number of strategic sectors, including agriculture, healthcare, education, and tourism. The Prime Minister is accompanied by Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Joseph Andal. According to a press release from the government, the trip aligns with the administration's broader foreign policy strategy to strengthen relationships that are mutually beneficial and grounded in respect, cooperation, and regional solidarity. The visit comes at a particularly sensitive time in global affairs as tensions between the United States and Venezuela continue to escalate. Under President Donald Trump's second term, the U.S. has adopted increasingly aggressive measures targeting Venezuela's economy and its international trade partners. In March, President Trump signed an executive order imposing a 25% tariff on goods imported into the U.S. from countries that continue to purchase Venezuelan oil. The move is aimed at cutting off financial flows to the Maduro administration region and intensifying economic pressure on Caracas. The order has triggered concerns among several nations in the Caribbean and Latin America that maintain energy partnerships with Venezuela. Despite these geopolitical headwinds, Grenada's leadership has opted to maintain diplomatic engagement with Venezuela, emphasizing the importance of sovereignty in shaping its foreign relations. While oil and gas were not listed on the agenda for the meeting between Grenadian and Venezuelan officials, Press Secretary Nila Etienne has promised an update if it is brought up. During Prime Minister Mitchell's absence, Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation Minister Andy Williams has been appointed acting Prime Minister. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Tellisford.
The Grenada Airports Authority is not taking the health and safety of its employees lightly. The rest of the details in this report.
The Grenada Airports Authority began its observation of Health and Safety Week 2025 with an opening ceremony at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. Kim Madison McQuilkin, the Operational Safety, Health and Environmental Manager at the GAA, said this is a very worthy initiative.
Celebrating in commemoration of Health and Safety Day, International Health and Safety Day. And we are also in alignment with the International Labour Organization theme, artificial intelligence and digitalization, and how it is that it's transforming our workforce.
Madison McQuilkin underscored the significance of training and the implementation of health and safety measures in an organization such as the airport.
Well, this is the airport. As you know, it's an international airport. We're the Airports Authority, and we are expected to adhere to international standards. So we do have our umbrella body, the International Civil Aviation Organization. With those standards, they have established standards, aviation standards that we are expected to be compliant with. So it's very important for us to be compliant, and of course we cannot forget the social aspect, the health and safety aspects of everything. Occupational health and safety for far too long has been placed on the back burner, and we want to ensure that it is placed at the forefront. We want to ensure that we have a task force here at the airport that is healthy and safe.
The Occupational Safety, Health and Environmental Manager said the incorporation of artificial intelligence is part of the main focus as they seek to remain abreast of international standards.
Artificial intelligence, digitalization, it's new. We're treading on new ground, but we want to incorporate as much as possible artificial intelligence and digitalization within our operations, because we have to admit that this makes certain processes extremely safe. So we want to incorporate that, and we want to ensure that we continue to align with the international organization theme and this drive to incorporate safer processes, safer operations. So wherever it is that we could improve our operations and incorporate AI, we will be looking into doing that as well.
Activities during the week will include health and safety presentations, health screenings, and a health walk on Friday to culminate activities. Today's opening ceremony had the participation from Airports Authority staff, Ministry of Health, Grenada Dental Association, among others. Health and safety at airports are vital to protect passengers and staff, prevent accidents, respond to emergencies, and limit the spread of diseases. They also ensure smooth operation and compliance with international regulations, supporting public trust and operational efficiency. Christina John, GBN News.
We'll be back to report the sports news. Stay close.
Like family, it's always exciting when lottery players get together. Now the lottery games are joining in the fun. Check out the multiplier family of Instacash games. 5 times the cash at $2, 10 times the cash at $3, and 20 times the cash at $5. On your tickets, match any of our numbers with any of the winning numbers and win the prize below that number. There's more. Multiply your winnings up to 5 times, 10 times, or 20 times more. Winning is easy. Play Monday to Sunday. There are no draws to wait on. Win instantly. It's the multiplier family of Instacash games with over $675,000 to be won instantly. Don't just buy one, buy all, because family is everything. Must be 18 years and older to play. NLA, making family dreams come true.
Boyo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up. I'm coming. Karim, what you doing? Fly my kite. Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy. Why not? The wind good. Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity. Yeah, kite. It's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked. Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture. Yeah, that makes sense.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
Sporting fans, good evening. Anderson Peters and Affy Fletcher have been named Grenada's Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year for 2024. The two were honored with the prestigious accolades during the annual National Sports Awards ceremony on Saturday. Peters, the 2024 Olympic bronze medalist in the men's javelin throw, capped off another remarkable season with the national honor. The 26-year-old secured third place at the Paris Olympic Games, reaffirming his position as one of the world's elite javelin athletes. In addition to his Olympic podium finish, Peters recorded a season best throw of 90.61 meters in August 2024, one of the top global marks for the year. Fletcher, a long-serving member of the West Indies women's cricket team, was recognized for consistent excellence through the 2024 season. Saturday's ceremony also celebrated rising talent and trailblazers in Grenadian sports. That's cricketer Kurt Murray was named Junior Sportsman of the Year, while track and field standout Annalisa Brown earned Junior Sportswoman of the Year. Paralympic achievements were also highlighted, with Tyler Smith named Outstanding Male Paralympian and Shauna Charles awarded Outstanding Female Paralympian, acknowledging their courage and performances on the international para-sports stage. Decathlete Lyndon Victor received the Outstanding Sports Performance Award following a stellar season, adding prestige to an already memorable night. Special awards recognizing service and dedication to Grenadian sports were presented to Royston LaHaye and Charles George for their decades-long contributions. Good for them. Well, the eagerly anticipated 2025 Cricket West Indies T20 Blaze Women's Regional Cricket Tournament will bowl off in St. Vincent this Thursday. The competition will be staged at the historic Arnersville Stadium from May 1 to 11, showcasing the region's top female cricketers in a fierce battle for T20 supremacy. Fans can look forward to daily triple headers with matches set for 10 a.m., 2:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. We can tell you too, the evening matches will be played under floodlights, creating a spectacular setting for exciting cricket action in the heart of St. Vincent. The 2025 T20 Blaze arrives at a crucial time for women's cricket in the Caribbean. Following a packed start to the year, including the West Indies Women's White Ball Series against Bangladesh in January, an inspiring Super 50 tournament in February, and a heartbreaking exit at the ICC Women's One-Day International World Cup qualifiers in April, this tournament represents an opportunity for redemption. With key white ball series against England and South Africa ahead, the T20 Blaze is seen as a launch pad for the team's renewed pursuit of international success. All right, a 14-year-old prodigy stunned the cricketing world with a blazing 35-ball century in the Indian Premier League on Monday, propelling the Rajasthan Royals to victory over the Gujarat Titans. The schoolboy, who was signed in the last auction at just 13, made headlines in his third IPL appearance after famously hitting the first ball of his debut for 6. Opening the batting alongside Yashasvi Jaiswal, he delivered a jaw-dropping 101 off 38 balls, the second fastest century in IPL history. Only West Indies legend Chris Gayle boasts a quicker turn as the youngster raced past milestones held by Yusuf Pathan, 37 balls, David Miller, 38, Travis Head, 39, and England's Will Jacks, 41. He smashed 11 sixes and 7 fours. The century was sealed with a massive 6-over mid-wicket off Khan's mystery spin. He was dismissed 3 balls later by Krishna, but by then his place in IPL history was already etched in stone. Talk about that one. All right, finally in the sports news, schools across the island will resume their training schedules this week under the Republic Bank 5 for Fun cricket program. Organized in partnership with the Grenada Cricket Association and Cricket West Indies, the program targets boys and girls aged 8 to 12 at the primary school level, introducing them to the fundamentals of cricket through structured coaching. Participants will represent their schools in friendly matchups that promote speed, energy, teamwork, fun, and simplified rules. Riffle Crony is the national coordinator of the program.
We have 31 schools that will be involved in this program. It's really divided into 5 zones, and 6 zones inclusive of Carriacou. So we have 5 schools per zone, which would make it 25 on the mainland, and we have 6 in Carriacou, which would include Piti Matli. What is going to happen? Coaching will start in earnest from Monday the 24th, where we expect our coaches to go into the schools and to give some technical assistance in terms of enabling everyone to understand how the program is going to be run. So we probably will have that for about 5 weeks, which will be followed by what we call the playoffs. So we would find that each zone is going to play off. St. David zone, which will have 5 schools, they're going to play off, they're going to have a winner. That will go right around to all the zones. Eventually, we'll end up with the 6 winners, which are going to meet on June the 24th for the finals, which would be another big event, and we're still going to confirm where that will be held, but certainly the media will know very early.
All right, that's the sports news for the moment. In preparation for Monday's scheduled autopsy, the body of 11-year-old Adriana Young has arrived at Balwant Singh's hospital, where it is undergoing forensic scanning. The use of a forensic CT scanner marks a significant step in the investigation into Young's tragic death at the Doubleday Hotel pool in East Bank, Essequibo. The case has ignited widespread protests and calls for police accountability capacity across Guyana. Medical experts explain that a forensic CT scan can, in some cases, replace a full autopsy. The scan can detect injuries and physical conditions that might otherwise be overlooked in traditional autopsies. Based on the results, it can be determined whether a complete autopsy is still required. The scanning process aims to preserve crucial evidence in a highly sensitive case that has already drawn an intense national attention and public outcry over police mishandling and conflicting reports surrounding Adriana's disappearance and death. The autopsy is scheduled for Monday. President Irfan Ali has promised that no resource will be spared to uncover the full truth, as calls mount for an independent investigation and the resignation of top police officials. Further afield, a growing community of Black Americans is making Kenya their new home, driven by a desire to escape systemic racism in the United States and find a deeper connection with their ancestral heritage. Many see Africa, Kenya in particular, as a place of opportunity, healing and cultural belonging. From starting businesses to forming vibrant communities, their presence is reshaping parts of Nairobi. Al Jazeera reports.
It took years for Anne-Marie Crawford to become an American citizen after she left Jamaica, where she was born.
I don't think we are really welcome there, just to work and put money in their pockets.
She's lived with her family in Atlanta for nearly 30 years. Now President Trump's back in office, she wants out. She says they've felt warmly welcomed here in Nairobi, where they've come to buy a home.
This is a prime area.
Adila Mohammed's helping her find it. It's part of a package offered by her company, Adila's Relocation Services. She says her clients are mostly Black Americans and that she's helped about 15 families move in the last year and that more are coming.
This one will be too small. You know, in America, we're used to big.
Savings or pensions can go further in Kenya, where Adila says there's a better life.
We can live comfortably without all the stress, without all the racism, without all the police brutality, without all of the heavy political climate. We don't need any of that. Our people just want to be at peace.
Adila and her husband Lamont have told the story of their migration on YouTube and connected with a community of nearly 200 Americans, Canadians and Jamaicans who she says have mostly migrated here in the last 5 years. Marceau Narcisse from Chicago has just visited American friends living in Ghana and Nigeria. He says he'd prefer to move here for good roads, faster internet and the weather. The history of the transatlantic slave trade has given West Africa appeal to some American migrants seeking their ancestral roots. Adila says anywhere in Africa can be home, but Nairobi's best. Anne-Marie's worried her home in Atlanta will lose value, so she says she wants to sell it and move here within weeks. Anne-Marie says she feels at peace here, and she wants to leave growing uncertainty in America for a new place to call home. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, Nairobi, Kenya.
A reminder of the headlines after this. A reminder of the headlines: 4 hospitalized, including 1 in critical condition after weekend shooting. Creators Alliance case delayed again. Labour Commissioner rules 5 former government workers were unfairly dismissed and compensation awarded. Grenadian man is captured after escape to St. Vincent, faces charges of 4 counts of sex with a minor. Also in the news, regionally, autopsy being conducted on body of 11-year-old murder victim in Guyana. Internationally, Black Americans migrating to Africa in large numbers. Plus in the sports news, Anderson Peters and Afi Fletcher crowned Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year. Congratulations to them both. All right, that's all from us in the GBN newsroom. I'm Kenroy Baptiste. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.